To all the Christians that don't like the fact that I'm telling you about my lived experience being born and raised in a Christian cult by people who call themselves Christians, and that 100% of the abuse was done in the name of Jesus and God and the Bible, I understand you want to invalidate it and you want to be right and you don't want to accept that people who call themselves Christians are doing horrific things to children like trafficking and other forms of exploitation. But when you discount a survivor's story, like, just know I am not easily offended at all, so like I smile and wave. But when you're trying to tell a grown-ass adult who's talking on the internet to other adults about things we need to be aware of and take action and, there's solutions for these problems, and you're like, oh, no, that's not true. You guys are talking about XYZ, not ABC. And I'm like, I'm trying to be so careful when I talk to Christians because, like, y'all get so offended. And anyway, as soon as I'm like, okay, I'm over it, I'm back to the message of protecting children, right? Because y'all, like, in these comments, like, a lot of them delete their comments, right? I screenshot them, though, because I've understood this pattern by now, that they come in with this whole, like, no, and I'm like, actually, and they can't continue the dialogue because they're up against a corner, and so they just delete their comments and leave. But the reason I'm calling this out, like, I don't want to focus on the 10% of people that have these, like, ridiculous things to say, but I think the 10% of people that are willing to put ridiculous things like this on the internet represent a much bigger population of people that truly just think that and keep to themselves with their thoughts and prayers and, oh, no, they must mean Mormon, therefore Christians have done no wrong, and, yeah, she's just getting attention and clicks on the internet. Like, the things Christians have said in response to an actual survivor of trafficking that was born and raised in a Christian cult, and that's not a flex, bro. That's me telling you the context from which I'm coming from, and that, like, number one, this is, wish that was all just for clicks, just a fun story that I'm making up. No, that was lived experience and a lot of trauma that I'm sparing you guys from, but I am unpacking it for you guys, strangers on the internet, so that people can stop calling child trafficking a theory, so that we can actually recognize the real victims, so we can actually help the real victims, right? And the amount of time I've wasted debating Christians on the merit of, like, recognizing the problems, being willing to acknowledge the problem, right? Realize we're not even on the topic of solutions yet. We're not even on the topic of solving problems yet. But here we are like, oh, no. Most people say cult, say Christian. No. They mean Mormon. Therefore, move along, folks. Nothing to see here. Like, oh, for the privilege of just, assuming there's nothing wrong, and bless your heart that you've never experienced something bad. I'm not asking you to relate to me. I'm not asking you for any kind of validation here, but if you care about truth, you could spend a few minutes fact-checking some of these things before you say embarrassing things that make you look very ignorant and uninterested in truth.